Hey guys, welcome to our What is Coaching on Legacy United Business Opportunity Call. So I have a little bit of a hoarse voice. It's okay. I have my tea here. I just want to talk to you guys a little bit tonight about my story and honestly how I have created this solid business, this solid foundation by building it myself over the last about 20 months is what it's been. You will notice that there is a little chat bar that you can ask some questions, and as long as they're popping up, I can answer them as they come in. We're also on a little bit of a delay, so I'm about 1 to 2 minutes ahead, I believe, of you guys. So if it takes me a little bit of time to answer your question, or maybe I'll get to them at the end. Either way, if you have questions, go ahead and ask, or if you are in the What is Coaching group, then you can totally post your questions in there as well. Message me. You can always find me. It's totally cool. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me take a little drink of my tea. My allergies have been going nuts. So, and as you pop on, if you guys can just let me know that you can hear me, that would be really great too. So a little bit about me. My name is Val Bozzo. I am a 5-star diamond elite Beachbody coach, and I started my business pretty much just like a lot of other people do. I started it with getting P90X. I actually got that program about 7.5 years ago when it first came out. My daughter had just been born, and my husband saw this crazy, awesome workout program on an infomercial, right? So he came to me and he was like, I want to buy this for us. You had just had the baby. He's like, I want to. And I said, that will not work. That is a scam. You found that on an infomercial, right? Well, it ended up showing up on our doorstep about a week later because he had called his mom and asked her if it could be his like Father's Day present or something like that. So long story short, we did the workout program together. And after about a week, I was like, okay, I'd always been a gym goer and, tried like a lot of us. I always try to do sit-ups or something at home. But there was something about this program that truly worked. So I was a firm believer back then in Beachbody. So for me personally, I would order the programs. I loved them. So as a new one came out, Insanity came out, and we ordered that program, Turbo Fire. That was my absolute favorite. I ordered that as soon as I saw it on an infomercial. But in all this time, I never knew anything about coaching, never heard about it. I didn't even hear about Shakeology. So about 20 months ago, like I said, I've been a coach for about 20 months, so we'll say 2 years. That's when someone on Facebook and was like, hey, have you ever heard about Beachbody coaching? Because I think you'd make a really good coach. Can I send you some information about it? So that's kind of how the whole coaching aspect came into play. But it goes back even a little bit further because, life, you have your struggles, you have your ups, you have your downs, you have the good and the bad. And it was about 3.5 years ago now, that I woke up one morning and my kids were really small. And when I woke up, I literally went from this happy-go-lucky person like I am now the night before. And when I woke up, I felt completely different. I felt depressed, and I had myself convinced that I had something wrong with me. Like I was going to die. Like it was that bad. It was almost, I was looking up symptoms, and schizophrenia popped up, and depression, and all these crazy things. And I was like, what is wrong with me? So it wouldn't go away. My resting heart rate was like 140. Like it was nuts. Like I couldn't stop. I would scratch my skin. I would scratch an itch and I would start bleeding. long story short, came to find out that I was having really severe thyroid issues. But they had been undiagnosed through blood work and all that. They found it through an ultrasound. And in turn, the doctors thought that I had cancer. So I had my thyroid completely removed 3 years ago in January, because all the tests that were after the biopsy, all the tests were pointing towards that it was 85% chance it was cancerous. So they were just taking the whole thing so that way they could start treatment on me once they verified that that's what it was. So that was a really, really like rock bottom time for me. During that same time, it was 3 days before Christmas, also, when my doctor called to tell me the results of the biopsy. And my husband, who's in the military, he had to move completely across the country 3 days after Christmas. So as you can relate, I'm sure, you wives out there, moms, just women in general, having something so crazy going on in your life, and then not feeling like and not knowing what was going to happen and second guessing everything. It was a very stressful time. So I can remember I got my thyroid out. It was January 9th, 3 years ago, and the test results were not supposed to come back for about 10 days. And it was about 4 days after my surgery. I vividly remember sitting on the couch at my parents' house because my husband had left and I needed help. So I was sitting there and I just remember thinking and starting to pray. And I was like, God, I know there's a reason why I'm going through this. I know that I have a purpose here. I just don't know what it is yet. So if you please not let this be cancer, can you please just make this all better? And I promise that you can use me. Like, I promise that I will serve my purpose here and I will do better. I just prayed and I cried and I prayed. And that next morning, it was a Friday morning and it was right around 8 o'clock. My cell phone rang and it was my doctor. And she said, Val, you are one of the 15%. It's not cancer. So I hit my knees, and at that moment, I knew God had a reason for me going through this. And I had to step up my game. I had to figure it out. You know, being a mom and a wife is so amazing. And that's what I dreamt of my whole life. But also felt like I'm still meant for more. Like it's not just it for me. I felt almost a void. Like I was always trying to figure it out and try new things. So from that moment on, I really did, it took me a while. It took me a while to figure out what in the heck I was supposed to do, but I was trying a little bit harder each and every day. So ended up, over the next year, my kids and I moved with my husband. We'd sold our house and all that, but we were struggling financially at this point. I mean, we were still in this terrible situation because anyone with thyroid issues, if you don't have it, I'll let you know, when you don't have a thyroid, you have to be on medication. You need a thyroid to survive. If I would, weeks. So, but finding the correct dosage and getting tested quite often to make sure that your thyroid levels are on track, that takes a lot of time. So it was a good year that it took the doctors to get my dosage right. So I've constantly felt depressed and like the doctors told me, this is the new you, you're always going to feel crappy. That's just what comes with thyroid. And I would not accept that. I'm like, no, this cannot be an answer. I cannot be guaranteed to gain weight, to feel like crap for the rest of my life, and have to go in for blood work testing every 3 months just so they can switch my dosage again. There has to be something else I can do. So I researched myself. I started to pull myself out of a funk. I dusted my Turbo Fire DVDs back off. And I said, I'm going to start to exercise again. I was about 15 pounds heavier than what I am now. And I felt miserable about myself. It doesn't matter if you are 2 pounds heavier than your normal weight range or 100. You steal the confidence that you lack when you look in that mirror. It it eats at you. At least it does for me. Like, I don't feel like myself when I don't feel good about myself. So I was actually starting to get it back into my routine again with some Beachbody products. And I saw a friend on Facebook who was just going to the gym, and she was eating clean, this clean eating thing that I kept seeing. So I messaged her. She looked amazing. She was losing weight and just looking great. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? And she sent me her meal plan. And she's like, I'm just lifting weights. That's it. I said, okay, try that. I'm going to try to do my turbo fire, get my weights out in the garage and dust them off. And I'm going to follow this meal plan that she gave me, right? So this meal plan was literally like plain oatmeal and fish, like a bikini boot camp competition meal plan. That is what it was. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Well, when I get something in my mind and I'm going to do it, I go all in. So I committed to doing this meal plan for, I think it was 8 weeks. I cried for about the first 3 weeks because I couldn't use salt. I couldn't use ketchup. Like, it was strict. But I did it. And you know what? It was like a reset for my body. And I immediately lost 6 pounds in the first week doing it. And I started to feel good about myself. So, long story short, I lost a little bit of weight. And then right around that same time frame, I just started feeling like I was coming back. Something was changing. My thyroid levels were starting to even out. And then that was about the time that I got invited to hear about this coaching thing. And on the financial aspect of it, guys, my husband and I, around that time when I'm starting to become me again, and I'm trying to figure out my health, my family's health, and all that, we were so strapped money-wise that we were literally starting to consider looking into bankruptcy. It was that bad. We were broke. We had moved, like I said, moved across the country that year. We were blessed enough to build a house, but we didn't really look at the whole big picture of the financial aspect. So we were bad off. And I was so afraid that I was going to have to put my kids into daycare. I was going to have to go get a full-time job because we needed some extra income. We had to have it. And we were starting to downsize and starting to sell stuff, trying to figure out a way to dig ourselves out of this debt. And then right around, and your marriage starts to kind of struggle a little bit. All that stress just keeps piling on. And I had it. Again, I knew God was doing it for a reason. I knew there was something bigger. So this Beachbody coaching opportunity presented itself. And I said, yeah, I want some information about it. So I immediately turned my skeptic brain set on because that's what happens. This sounds too good to be true. You really cannot make a living working from home and basically being paid to get fit and healthy and inspire people and all this. That's what I was thinking. But I researched it a little bit more, and I found out that with military, I could sign up for free. No strings attached. My coaching fee waived, and that was it. So that was what made me take the plunge. I decided, why not? What do I have to lose? I have to find a job, so why not at least try this? I talked to my husband about it, and he said, I'm supportive. Go ahead. You know that you love the product. Why not talk to other people about it? So I dove in. The very first call that I listened to, because we do team calls once a week, was a lady named Melanie Mitro. And at the time, she was, I believe, number 4 in the entire company. She had been a coach for almost 3 years. And she was a mom of 2 little boys from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Your average, just somebody you'd be hanging out with, a friend. And hearing her talk, her story, so inspiring. I sat there and I thought, if she can do it, why can't I do it? There's nothing different. I'm a mom. I have 2 kids. Why can't I do this? That was my turning point. That was when I went all in. And one thing that she said, she's like, make a decision to stick with it. Do not say I'm going to try, say I'm going to do it. And just do it. She said, success is built from never giving up. Failure makes you a successful person. Failing forward, learning from your mistakes, getting back up every single day, that's what makes you successful. So that's what I did. I started to plug away and use what I had, a little bit of knowledge of the Beachbody stuff. You know, it was just this challenge group too. So she was telling me about these challenge groups. I personally had not been in a challenge group before I joined with Beachbody. I didn't know anything about it. So I kind of joined as a coach, and I was put into a challenge group all at the same time, which it was an advantage because I got to see like they were parallel with each other. I got to be that person in that group, and I was helping just post every day, and I was figuring out this inspiration stuff and just sharing what I was doing with my workouts and my meal plans and everything. And then I was also inviting people to join a challenge group with me. So that was kind of how it all began for me. And I just want you guys to know, like, with coaching, you do not have to be this person who has six-pack abs and is a flirt or anything like that. That is not who we are as coaches. For me, yes, you see my posts on social media. I personally have some abs. I'm known for my abs, I guess you could say, but you have to think I've been doing this for a really, really, really long time. And this is just my body structure. We have amazing coaches who some are just starting their fitness journey. You know, just starting to get themselves in a routine, and they're just sharing what they're doing. We have other coaches who more their fitness level and their fitness, their challenge packs, their challenge groups on faith and finances. So it's all this full circle moment, and we do it together. So you do not have to be a nutritionist. You don't have to be an expert at anything. A lot of our coaches, some of them have a GED. Some people didn't go to college. Some, we have teachers and lawyers and bartenders. It does not matter who you are, and your past does not define you. Please understand that. You can do anything that you ever dream of doing as long as you're willing to do the work it takes to actually get there. So let me tell you a little bit about our company, who we are as a whole. So Beachbody was founded in 1998 by John Congdon and Carl Deichler. Excuse me, I need another drink. And they were a direct marketing company, and they started with infomercials. They believed in this effective solution to help people lose weight. But what they didn't really know how to direct it as, because it is a multi-level marketing company, and sometimes we can get a bad rap for that. Know that this is not that pyramid scheme that you hear about. Pyramid schemes are illegal, and we would not be around because, again, like I had mentioned before, I was like, oh, this is a pyramid scheme. I didn't even know what that was. I just heard about it. A pyramid scheme is literally when it's a pyramid and someone is selling goods or services and there is no product being exchanged. So pretty much if I were signing someone up on my team, so basically it would be like me signing all these people up on my team, and then I was benefiting. I was at the top, and I was the only one benefiting from anything just because they were signing up. No, with Beachbody, the only way that I am successful, the only way that you would be successful is if your team is successful, is if each of your coaches are successful. That's why it's so important, and that's why I want everyone to succeed. For me, I want everyone to understand and feel this sense of emotion and this amazingness of this company. And I say that so often, but I'm truly that passionate about what I do, and I just want everyone else to, if you fall in love, if you want to do this, I want to see you succeed. So that's kind of that misconception. But we are the creators of the P90X series, Turbo Fire Insanity, Chalene Extreme, like I've named a lot. But what Carl and John wanted to do, they wanted this peer-to-peer support. They wanted these people to kind of go out and kind of like we do, the ripple effect. They wanted people to get results and then share their stories. And that's what we have done from the very beginning. So that's when this whole coaching idea came about, and it's just kind of spiraled from there. And we lead with integrity. To hear Carl and John speak on stage, the first time I heard them, I was like, this is the real deal. To hear a CEO of our company lead with his heart and have so much passion to help people. At our Beachbody Summit, it's every year, and it was in Vegas last year. And I tell you guys what, I sat there in the audience as they handed out $100,000 to the Biggest Loser winner, pretty much, this transformation story. But to see our CEO and the people who are involved literally crying, like teared up, to see the success that they have had some kind of a part in for these people losing all this weight, giving money to them as a reward. That was so cool to me. And then to hear them speaking about pretty much, this is what Carl says. He's like, if people are not going to use our challenge packs, if they're not going to get involved in the challenge groups, if they are not ready to make their transformation yet, we don't want their stuff sitting in a closet collecting dust. Send it back. We don't want them to just have it because they have to. We want people to want it. So that was like a really big turning point for me. And I just love to share that story because to me, that is integrity. To me, that is passion. And that is someone who they believe in what they do, back them and support them as well. We just want everyone to be healthy. I mean, like I mentioned, our coaches, you're not someone who has to be perfect ever. We are motivators. We are people who just want to inspire. I started my journey literally saying, if I could help one person today, one, that's all that matters. You see me posting on Facebook. I post 4 to 5 times a day generally. And at the beginning of my coaching, I literally started with less than 140 Facebook friends. I had absolutely no past experience with social media. I didn't know what your niche marketing was or anything like that. I was clueless. And I will tell you, I was that girl who never posted on Facebook unless if it were pictures of my kids. And the people who did post a lot on Facebook, I'd pretty much say to my husband, oh my gosh, they post on Facebook all the time. This is so silly. And then I was being told that I had to start doing that. So I was afraid at first. I was afraid of what people were going to think, and I didn't want to do it. But I finally started understanding the importance of it. And with that mentality that I was waking up and I'm like, just one person, that's all I want to do is help one person. You know what? I was making deposits in people's lives, whether it was inspiration, motivation, hope. So if I could post on Facebook and if that one person would take something positive away from it, then why not do it? Why not help someone? So I started to realize this. I kept telling myself, I want to change more than I want to stay the same. I committed to doing this, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to follow the top leaders. I'm literally going to mimic what they do. When you want to be successful and you see someone and you want to emulate what they do. You want to research what they do and you want to follow. So that's what I did. And that's what I have all of my new coaches do. That's all that I do. I'm like, this is what we do as coaches. We want to motivate and inspire. I want to help others. That is why I decided to do this. Someone helped me understand that I have potential to change. And that's what I want to do for others. So I focus on my morning motivation. Anytime I'm working out, I just post a picture of it. That's how I started, was always a morning motivation. And then I do recipes, and I share my family, and I share my business, as you guys see, because it's my passion. I just share my life, and that's who we are as coaches. When you are inviting people to your challenge groups and inviting to these kind of coaching opportunity calls and trying to grow your team, the people you're talking to are not interested in just a program. They're not interested in just Shakeology. They are following you. You are the reason why they say yes, or why they want some more information, because they trust in you. It's that trust in the relationships that are built. And that's what I try to stress so much, is it's not about a product. The product is this added bonus that they get. You know, Shakeology is amazing. That also had so much part to play in my thyroid functions, my thyroid levels, my health. It is amazing. But it's more the person who's using it and the person who's helping inspire those other people to do the same thing. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. My voice is just going a little crazy. So why challenge packs? You know, we talk about these challenge packs and these challenge groups. Well, your challenge packs are literally your secret to success. It's our fitness, it's nutrition, it's support. All three of those combined, that is what brings you success. We do shake and share events where, you know, if you want to taste test some Shakeology, or, you know, help people understand what it's like before they commit, you can do that. You know, we do wear and share. I'm always wearing something Beachbody, or, you know, a program or something on my shirt. Just generate a conversation with people. We are here to help people get involved in our challenge groups. That way we motivate and keep them going. Because, you know, as everybody knows, if you're in a challenge group now, or maybe you're thinking about joining a new challenge group, or you're ready to jump on board with our team, you know that it's the support. And that first week is really exciting. We're in it, and you're like up every morning at 5. But then week 2, it's like you kind of start to fall off a little bit, right? So these challenge groups, we help everyone get through those first few weeks, because it takes 21 days to form a habit. And once we can kind of surpass that 21 days, and we help our challengers realize that they can do this. Like, you know, when you want something bad enough, you have to put the work into doing it. And when we have this support system in our challenge groups, then the success rate is so much higher than if someone's just going to our infomercial, or calling the number, or going online and just ordering this product and having no support to go with it. So with this business, that's our bread and butter. I run a challenge group once a month. I train my coaches to do the same thing. We share our stories. We do no cold calls. That was a question that I've had before. Do we have to call people? No, you don't have to do cold calls. What you see on my Facebook, how I'm sharing my life, that is my main source. And then I invite 10 people a day. I send out a little message. Maybe you're one of my Facebook friends, or a friend or an acquaintance who email from me saying, hey, would you like some information about a challenge group? That's it. I'm just inviting every single day in hopes of inspiring and helping that one person. And that is how I've grown my business. Now, whenever I signed on as a new coach, I had no idea what I was doing. No one does. But I threw the excuses out the window. Google became my best friend. And any question that I had, I would just Google it. Our team is the #1 team in the entire network. So this Melanie Mitra, who I mentioned earlier, who was my biggest inspiration, she and I now work side by side. Like, she's #1 in the company now. we put together these amazing trainings for all of our new coaches. So you guys never have to feel like you're going to be left out in the dust, or you're never going to understand what you're doing. Now, do you need to actually do the information and do the assignments and, keep up with what we're training you? These things are important. So yes, you have to meet me halfway whenever I'm training you, or maybe you were invited by another coach on this team. We all have the same training manuals and the same training assignments. So your coach will absolutely be giving you and helping you with the exact same thing. But we do these different groups. We have brand new coach groups. We have rank advancement groups. So push to emerald and push to diamond and star diamond groups. It's one right after the next. So you know that you're going to go in a progression, and we're going to be here supporting you and teaching you and helping you understand that this business is not hard. It can be frustrating at times, like any job can. There are going to be times when you're like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest job on earth. And then there's going to be times when it's kind of like, this is a rough day, just like anything else. But know that you will always have the support as us as coaches in these training groups. We also had that's being launched on March 2nd. It's Beachbody On Demand. So all of these programs that we've been talking about, they will all be able to be accessed online on our website from anywhere, from any mobile device. So that's going to be another huge benefit for our business. Sometimes as a coach, I will just shoot out some text messages and say, hey, how you doing? I make up some meal plans, but I've learned this along the way. I didn't just wake up and start this. I literally took baby steps this whole business. And that's what I train you guys to do too. We set small, attainable goals to get you to where you want to be, in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years. Think to yourself, where can you be with this in 3 to 5 years? A lot of you maybe don't know yet, but this business can take you to places that you've only imagined financially. We'll get into that in a minute with like commissions and cycle bonuses and everything. But just know that this is a successful business, 100% career that you can make a substantial income doing. So what will you get from Legacy United, our team? I just talked about it a little bit, but you get the support, and our community of coaches is beyond amazing. We have this little family that we never want you to feel like you're left out. We never want you to feel like you can't ask questions or get involved in little groups or have these success partners who are just people who pair up and you help one another along in this business. You have a coach training academy that you get when you first sign on as a coach. There is always something for you to learn, but what it boils down to are these 3 little things that are called the 3 vital behaviors in your business. And what that is be proof that the product works, do your workouts, drink your Shakeology, and share it. 2, personal development. This was kind of hard for me at first because I was like, what? I need to read books that are not, just like fun mom books or whatever. No, personal development is literally helping you grow as a person, helping you learn new things. Do you guys think that I started out knowing how to run a team? No, it scared the pants off me. I'm like, what is this? I don't know how to lead someone. I learned by reading, and I learned by just that progression, that it just is naturally happening. It's not like I just fell into this team of 600 plus coaches. We've built from brick by brick, layer by layer. We have built this team on a solid foundation. So know that you will have a place. Know that you will be welcomed with open arms, and there will be success as long as you allow it, as long as you tell yourself, okay, I'm not going to give up. This is for me. So also in Legacy United, how our challenge groups, since that's what we run, and we base everything on our challenge groups, I don't want you to feel pressured. So say you sign up tonight and you're like, okay, what do I do now? I don't know how to run a challenge group. I haven't even ever been in a challenge group, like mine, for instance. Excuse me. I'm sorry. So the only thing that you'll be responsible for at first is just talking to some friends and trying to get 3 to 5 people into our next challenge group that starts in 3 weeks. And then we'll get them involved, and I personally will be running the group. You'll be in there, you'll add value, you'll chit chat, you'll talk about your workouts or whatever you're doing. I never want you guys to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, and this. You don't have to. Your business can go as fast or as slow as you want it to go. This is all up to you because this is your business, and you'll understand more what that is after you sign on, if that's the decision that you make. But the speed is what you call it. You call the shots. So we're always here to help. Excuse me. So we are also rewarded from Beachbody. So some rewards that you could expect each month for hitting what we call Success Club, which is 3 people with a challenge pack to get into a challenge group each month, minimum. Beachbody rewards us. They'll send us some cute swag, some books. Sometimes I've gotten a yoga mat. I've gotten resistance bands, just cute stuff, whatever, but it's free stuff. And that's just a reward each month for working hard. And they like to just show their appreciation for what we're doing, playing this part in ending the trend of obesity. We also have what's called a Success Club trip every year. So for me, for instance, in 2 months, I am going on an all-expense-paid trip to Cancun that I've earned over the last year. Next year, if you guys can be earning your trip on our Beachbody cruise, that will be next year. So that is all expense paid. Why not go on a free trip with your family, whatever, and then you get spending money when you get there too. It's a pretty sweet deal if you ask me. I can't wait to go on my trip. Now, let me also just kind of break this down in, cost, because I'm sure that a lot. How much does this cost? Well, you could go to the Team Beachbody website right now, and under the coach who invited you here tonight, and you could just sign up for $40. $40 flat rate and you'd be a coach. In my opinion, that's kind of a waste of money because you're literally getting nothing but your coaching. But some people do that. Or you can buy a challenge pack, which is your fitness program, Shakeology, and your coaching fee is completely waived. So you'd pay $140 for the 21-day fixed challenge pack. I'm just throwing that out there as an example. Be a coach, you have everything you need. Another question I get, do I have to drink Shakeology? You don't have to, but why wouldn't you want to? It's amazing and it works because it's your nutrition. But there's always ways around it. Some people have allergies. We have some really great coaches who legitimately can't drink it. It's okay. But know that Shakeology and your challenge pack, that will come together and you get to sign up as a coach for free. So that's my suggestion for anyone who's ready. If you are military or a veteran, you get your monthly website fees, which is $15.95. Those are completely waived. So know that all you have to do is send in your military orders and that fee is waived. For anyone else, $15.95 is our monthly website fees. And that is honestly, it's awesome because we don't have to keep an inventory of any products or anything like that. So you can just literally go on the website and order whatever you need, and that's it. Now, to get paid, you make 25% off of whatever anybody orders, and you also get 25% off of anything that you order. So it's a cool deal. And then I'm not going to go into too much detail with it tonight, but as you gradually build your team, you will earn what's called residual income on team cycle bonuses. And that is where your income really starts to grow and go up and up and up as your team grows. So starting off, your Shakeology will be completely paid for with those first 3 people that you get into your challenge group. So that's where we start. We just have that jumping off mark and we go all in. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for you guys tonight. I don't see any questions, but if you have any, you can totally message me or ask me. I hope that, you took a little bit away from this call. I hope that you understand a little bit more that what you see on Facebook is, that's me, but I started at the same place where you start or will start or have started. It's just a progression. It's a decision to want to change and not stay the same. You literally have to believe in yourself. And that comes with your personal development. And that is totally just something that is, again, another natural progression. But it's just this vision and knowing that with patience, consistency, and time, and also you truly only need 1 hour a day to build on this business. I can teach you how to do this in 1 hour a day. I did it. I didn't have extra time. I was a stay-at-home mom, 2 kids, a husband who was deployed a lot. 1 hour a day is how I built my business. Know that success is not reserved for a small amount of people. Everyone can be successful in any area that they choose. It's just, like I said, it's a decision, and you can totally do this. So I really hope you some new faces on our team Legacy United. And thank you so much for hopping on this call tonight. It really means a lot that you took some time out of your evening to just hear my story and know that this is the real deal. This is not some scheme. I make a very, very good living by inspiring and helping others. So thank you guys so much and have a great night.